We all want to make smart financial choices, to build wealth and to secure our future. Yet, time and again, many of us find ourselves making decisions that seem counterintuitive, leading to regret or even financial struggle. This phenomenon of consistently making poor financial decisions isn't due to a lack of intelligence or basic math skills. Instead, it's driven by a complex interplay of powerful psychological factors that often operate below our conscious awareness. Understanding these underlying influences is crucial for anyone looking to gain better control over their finances. Our goal today is to shed light on these common pitfalls, helping you make more informed and strategic choices for your financial well-being. Let's dive into some of the most significant psychological factors that sway our financial judgments. Recognizing these tendencies is the first step toward overcoming them. One of the most potent psychological forces is known as loss aversion. This principle describes how the pain of experiencing a financial loss is felt far more acutely than the pleasure derived from an equivalent financial gain. For example, losing $100 often feels much worse than finding $100 feels good. This deeply ingrained bias has a significant behavioral impact, especially when it comes to investments. It frequently leads individuals to hold on to losing investments for far longer than is rational. The hope for recovery, even when the evidence suggests otherwise, becomes a powerful motivator. Rather than cutting losses and reinvesting elsewhere, people cling to the possibility that their investment will rebound. This often results in a worsening financial situation as the asset continues to decline. Think of delaying the sale of a dropping stock, enduring the emotional sting of realizing a loss only to see its value diminish further. Our emotions play a far greater role in our financial choices than many of us realize. Emotional spending is a common trap where feelings rather than logic dictate our purchasing habits. Everything from stress and sadness to excitement and boredom can become powerful emotional triggers. Consider retail therapy, where shopping becomes a coping mechanism for negative emotions. Feeling down often leads to impulsive purchases, offering a temporary mood boost that quickly fades. On the flip side, celebratory spending can also be problematic. After a promotion or a significant achievement, the urge to splurge can be overwhelming. While celebrating is natural, unchecked celebratory spending can lead to impulsive purchases, overspending, and the accumulation of debt. Both positive and negative emotions can lead us astray, disrupting our financial plans and goals. Another major hurdle to sound financial decision-making is short-term thinking, often called present bias. This is our tendency to prioritize immediate gratification over longer-term goals, even when the future reward is significantly greater. The allure of now often overshadows the benefits of later. This bias profoundly impacts our ability to plan for the future. Saving for retirement, which is years or decades away, feels less urgent than enjoying today. Similarly, tackling debt can be a slow, arduous process, making the immediate pleasure of spending money far more appealing than making an extra loan payment. Investing for the future also falls victim to present bias. The consistent, disciplined effort required to build wealth over time can feel less rewarding than an immediate purchase. Imagine choosing an immediate, delicious meal out over saving that money for a future vacation you've dreamed of for years. In many such scenarios, the immediate pleasure, however fleeting, often wins over the greater, more enduring satisfaction of achieving a long-term goal. This constant battle between our present desires and future well-being is a key factor in many financial missteps. Beyond specific emotional responses and temporal preferences, our minds employ various mental shortcuts known as cognitive biases. While these shortcuts help us process information quickly, they can also lead to systematic errors in judgment, especially in complex areas like finance. One prevalent cognitive bias is confirmation bias. This describes our tendency to seek out, interpret, and favor information that confirms our existing beliefs or hypotheses. When it comes to finances, this can lead to poor investment decisions. We might actively look for news articles or opinions that support our existing investment choices, ignoring contradictory evidence. This biased research prevents us from getting a balanced view, potentially locking us into flawed strategies. Then there's overconfidence bias, where individuals overestimate their own abilities, knowledge, or the accuracy of their predictions. In the financial world, this can manifest as taking on excessive risk with investments, believing we can outperform the market or pick winning stocks consistently. Such overconfidence also leads to inadequate financial planning, as we might underestimate potential risks or assume things will always work out. Finally, herd behavior describes the tendency for individuals to follow the actions of a larger group, regardless of their own individual beliefs or information. This is particularly visible in financial markets. During periods of rapid growth, people might jump into investments simply because everyone else is doing it, fearing they'll miss out. This fear of missing out, or FOMO, fueled by herd behavior, can lead to buying into overvalued assets. This phenomenon is often observed during speculative market bubbles, where asset prices detach from their intrinsic value purely due to widespread optimism and collective action. When the bubble bursts, those who followed the crowd often suffer significant losses. The reality is that poor financial decisions are not simply a result of ignorance or a lack of intelligence. They are often a direct consequence of deeply ingrained psychological tendencies and biases that affect us all. Recognizing this is crucial. It's not about being bad with money. It's about understanding the psychological roots that influence our behavior. The first and most critical step toward improving your financial choices is to become acutely aware of these biases and understand their profound impact. Conscious awareness empowers you to challenge your automatic reactions. Begin by cultivating an awareness of loss aversion. When faced with a losing investment, acknowledge the discomfort but force yourself to evaluate it rationally. Learn to recognize your emotional triggers before you make a spending decision. Pause and question whether a purchase is driven by a genuine need or a fleeting feeling. Actively combat short-term thinking by setting clear, tangible long-term goals and breaking them into smaller, manageable steps. Automate your savings and investments to bypass the immediate gratification impulse. Finally, educate yourself on common cognitive biases. When making significant financial decisions, actively seek out dissenting opinions or data that challenges your initial assumptions. Be skeptical of your own predictions and avoid following the crowd without independent verification. By understanding and actively mitigating the influence of these psychological forces, you can make smarter, more deliberate choices, ultimately improving your financial well-being and securing a more stable future.